Des.
What up, bro?
Start with Derrick Rose. I know last year you were talking about his impact a little bit. Just when you found out, one, how did you find out that Derrick Rose was going to retire, and just two, just speak to the impact that he made and the relationship you guys formed.
Yeah, I found out the same way y'all did. Um, I talked to him the day after, and he said that it was something that he had been thinking about and thinking hard on, and the reasons why he was doing it all made 100% sense, which gave me peace of mind. You know what I'm saying? That he's walking away from the game when he felt the time was right, and that's all you can ask for as a player. So we're gonna miss him. He'll be around. He's sticking around Memphis. So uh, I'm happy for him. Super proud of him. But yeah, I'm excited to see him and still be able to pick his ear here and there.
Hey, Des, last year going through the fire, you were doing a lot of things that you normally didn't do, and because of injuries, you were doing a lot of other things. Looking back on the last season, after the season, what positive do you take that you can from last season that you can bring to this season to take your game even to another level?
I mean, I think there was a whole lot of positives, like our record and injuries and opportunities and things like that might not have been, but there was a lot. Like you said, I mean, I got better in a lot of areas. I think it showed me how good of like how much shape I needed to be in. Like to be able to play a role similar to like what some like Ja would do, and I won't be asked to do that, this year since he's back in the lineup. But still being able to be in that type of shape to be able to do different things on the defensive end and things like that, I think will help me a lot.
Given everything that happened last year and then the changes to the coaching staff, I think there's some mystery in what this will look like when it gets off the ground. Like, what gives you confidence that this team is still at the top of the West as a competitor this season?
I mean, if you stepped inside of our, one of our open gyms or practices, I think it wouldn't take long for you to think the same thing. We know who we are, and we know what we're capable of. It's just about going out there and doing it now.
Des in the back. Zach, one of the first things he says was this roster was put together to build around you and Ja and Jaren, with everybody being healthy. How important is it for the three of you to even take that next step, whether it's individually or collectively as a trio? Max money guys, he said, probably the best threesome in the NBA. So how much pride do you take in that, but also know, look, we got to take another step. We got to keep getting better.
Yeah, I mean, you look back when we did have our success. He's talking about our, we were the 2 seed and things like that. We still weren't good enough. We still weren't good enough to win a championship, and that's our goal. And I think Ja, myself, and Jaren have improved since then. Continue to get better, but I think that he's spot on, and I think that we're gonna have to continue to grow our games and grow as leaders and grow as men in order to be able to make this thing happen. But we're not far.
There's actually two questions. First, you've had a full summer to be a dad. Just what has that been like for you? As a new father.
Best summer yet. It had all my priorities in line. It was real easy, to wake up and get out of bed and spend time with him, and then go and train. And then as soon as I'm done, we kicking it on the lake or whatever the case may be. So it was a very fulfilling summer for sure.
When we talked to Taylor Jenkins, he used the word humbling to describe last season. Brandon Clark used the word y'all felt like losers a lot. How did last year feel for you, and how much has it fueled you for this coming season?
I think humbling is the perfect word. We came into last season with high expectations, as you do every season. Sitting right here, telling you guys how good of a year we were going to have, and it didn't go that way. So Definitely humbling. Can't take anything for granted in this league. I think last year taught me that for sure, and I'm excited to approach this year with a new mindset and new mentality.
There's obviously going to be a lot of focus on Ja as he comes back here at the beginning of the season because he played only 9 games. From your perspective, what have you seen from him this summer? What are you excited about, going into this 6th year for him?
He's in great shape. His game's in a really good spot. Using his voice, he's always had command of the gym, and people listen every time he speaks. But you can just tell he's coming from a place of a guy that's been in the league for 6 years, and been through some stuff. So it's really cool to see, and I'm probably most excited to see him as a leader this season. He's been a great leader for us in the past years, but like I said, me, John, Jaren, in order to carry this thing forward, that's going to be the key.
Des, to follow up on that a little bit, being a 2 seed a couple years ago, there's been 6 different champions in this league each of the last 6 seasons. If this team can grow and go around the core, is this a team that is capable of winning this season and maybe making it 7-7?
100%. I mean, I think that we're built to compete for it this year and years beyond. I love our team. I love where we're at. And, 100%.
Last question.
Two-parter for you, Des. One, defensively this year for you. I know last year you were talking about taking on, a bigger role defensively and whatnot. What have you learned, like in terms of, on the defensive end mentally as well as physically, kind of grasping to grow to that next level of being a defender? And then 2, kind of picking up off that, what you've grown on the defensive end. Is this that year where, last year you wanted to be an all-star, injuries happening and all that. Is this the year you feel like you can make it happen?
Defensively, I feel like it's all about how prepared you are as far as the game plan goes, knowing what the other team runs, personnel, and your conditioning. Mentally and physically, like what are you willing to go through and put yourself through to get a stop? And on the second question, like the last 2 seasons, I felt like I was in a good place to make the team, and obviously injuries happen, so I'm not sitting here saying like, I want to make an all-star. That's my only goal because, I want to win a championship, and whatever comes with that comes with that. But as long as I'm healthy and we're winning basketball games, I think everything's going to take care of itself.